Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. I am Urvashi Singh, and as we have already discussed about respiration in plants in previous videos, so today we'll be moving ahead with respiration in animals, in which we will study about how different types of organisms perform different types of respiration. So without any further ado, let's get started. So now we will study about respiration in animals. Different animals have different modes of respiration. जितने भी different types of animals हैं universe में, they have different modes of respiration according to the surroundings they live in, according to their adaptations, according to their need, according to their body. So different animals have different modes of nutrition. In some unicellular animals like amoeba, respiration takes place by simple diffusion of gases through the cell membrane. कुछ जो simple unicellular organism हैं, for example amoeba, in them respiration takes place by simple diffusion through their cell membrane. So there is merry exchange of gases in and out of the cell membrane in amoeba. Animals like earthworm, which live in soil, use skin to absorb oxygen from the air and remove carbon dioxide. So the respiratory organ of the earthworm is skin. Animals like earthworm कहाँ रहता है? Earthworm lives in the soil. So we've already studied in respiration in plants that soil has air spaces which has oxygen in it. तो earthworm क्या करता है? अब earthworm की skin, earthworm has a moist skin. Earthworm uses its moist skin to absorb oxygen from the air and remove carbon dioxide. So respiratory organ, just इसी moist skin से it will absorb oxygen from the air spaces and simultaneously it will also remove carbon dioxide using its moist skin. So here the respiratory organ, जो earthworm की respiratory organ या respiratory membrane जिसे हम कहेंगे, वो होगा इसकी skin. In aquatic animals like fishes and prawns, so aquatic animals, those animals which live in water, for example fishes, prawns, they have gills as respiratory organs which extract oxygen dissolved in water and take away carbon dioxide from the body. So aquatic animals हैं like fishes and prawns, they live inside the water and we know that water has dissolved oxygen in it. So gills का काम क्या है? To absorb the dissolved oxygen in the that is dissolved in the water and remove carbon dioxide from the body of these aquatic animals into the water. So respiratory organ for aquatic animals becomes the gills. In insects, for example grasshoppers, cockroach, houseflies, mosquitoes, the tiny holes called spiracles on their body and the air tubes called tracheae are the respiratory organs. In insects like grasshopper, you can see here, they have these small holes outside the bodies. These are called spiracles and these are connected to air tubes which are called tracheae. These tracheae open up into some air sacs. So in these, no, they don't open, like there is diffusion of air in these air sacs and each cell gets its own oxygen. So the respiratory organ for insects is tracheae. The respiratory organs of land animals such as man, bird, lizard, dog are lungs. So all the animals, all the land animals, all the terrestrial animals, those animals which live on earth, on the land and breathe through air, they have specialized organ for respiration called as lungs. So the lungs will absorb oxygen from the air. In aquatic animals, all the animals which live in water, to absorb oxygen from water, gills are there. Insects have tracheae, spiracles and tracheae. And the land animals or the terrestrial animals have lungs. Please note that all the respiratory organs, whether skin, gills, tracheae or lungs, have three common features. See, they are respiratory organs. So the only function is to help in respiration, to provide gases, etc. Whatever it is, they are different because of the different habitat of the organisms in which they are present, but they have to have something common in it. मतलब इनका सबका काम तो respiration है करना, to absorb oxygen, to give out carbon dioxide. It's a basic thing, but they are present in different types of organisms. So what is common in all these? There are three common features in all types of respiratory organs, whether it be skin or gills or trachea or lungs. All the respiratory organs have a large surface area to get enough oxygen. First point, all the respiratory organs will have a large surface area to get enough oxygen. जितना ज़्यादा surface area होगा उतना ज़्यादा oxygen absorb होगा, उतना ज़्यादा oxygen dissolve in हो पाएगा. So all the respiratory organs, skins, gills, trachea or lungs, they have to have a large surface area. All the respiratory organs have thin wall for easy diffusion and exchange of respiratory gases. Second common feature is they have to have a thin wall. They have a thin wall for easy diffusion and exchange of gases. That is, अगर बहुत मोटी wall हुई तो वहाँ पे diffusion में ही हमें दिक्कत होगी. Sufficient amount of oxygen अंदर नहीं आ पाएगा and carbon dioxide will not be able to move out, the complete amount of carbon dioxide. So the wall in which जिसमें respiration होना है, जिसमें exchange of gases होना है, this has to be thin, जिसमें easy exchange of gases हो सके. All the respiratory organs like skin, gills, lungs are rich in blood, have to have a rich blood supply. Okay, the third point is have a rich blood supply for transporting respiratory gas. देखो, in this all the skins, lungs and gills, they have to have a rich blood supply because we all know the oxygen that will be dissolved or that will be absorbed by the respiratory organs need to reach each and every cell of the body. So how will this be transported inside the body? Blood will carry them. So wherever जहाँ भी ऑक्सीजन absorb हो रही है फिर जहाँ भी ऑक्सीजन हम dissolve हो रही है, from there to different parts or different cells of the body, ऑक्सीजन ले जाने के लिए the place should have a lot of blood supply. तो जहाँ पे suppose lungs में हो गया, gills में, जहाँ भी ऑक्सीजन absorb हो रही है वहाँ पे high blood supply होनी चाहिए, rich blood supply. मतलब जितना ढेर सारा blood रहेगा तो there will be fast transport of oxygen from वहाँ पे fast transport of oxygen होगा. यहाँ पे कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड ऑक्सीजन अब्जॉर्ब हुई and that is because of rich blood supply, it will be rapid, it will be moved away from there so that more and more oxygen can be absorbed from the atmosphere. Also sufficient amount of carbon dioxide can be given out because of rich blood supply. Only in tracheal system of respiration air reaches the cell directly. जो tracheal system of respiration है which is there only in insects, इसमें कोई blood supply नहीं होती, इसमें the oxygen reaches each and every cell directly. So the three common things are large surface area, thin wall for easy diffusion and have a rich blood supply. The rate of breathing in aquatic animals is much faster than terrestrial animals. What is the rate of breathing? The rate of breathing in aquatic animals is much faster than in terrestrial animals. मतलब जो animals aquatic life जी रहे हैं और those animals जो water में रहते हैं, the rate of breathing is faster than terrestrial or land animals. Breathing क्या है? Breathing is that part of respiration which is just inhale or taking in of oxygen and giving out of carbon dioxide. This is breathing. Okay, whereas respiration is taking in of oxygen and using it for release of energy from the food and giving out, then releasing carbon dioxide and water as by. So here we are talking about only breathing, that is taking in of oxygen and giving out of carbon dioxide. So it is the rate of breathing is very fast in aquatic animals. ऐसा क्यों? Since the amount of dissolved oxygen in water is low as compared to the amount of oxygen in the air, a faster rate of breathing provides more oxygen to the aquatic animals. The terrestrial animals use the oxygen in the air or atmosphere for breathing and respiration. देखो, जो aquatic animal है वो oxygen कहाँ से लेगा? The oxygen that is dissolved in the water. And terrestrial oxygen कहाँ से मिलेगी? From the oxygen from the air or the atmosphere. And we know that dissolved oxygen in water is very low. तो जो oxygen dissolved है water में, पानी में oxygen है, is low as compared to the oxygen present in the air. So जो पानी में oxygen कम है और air में oxygen ज़्यादा है, तो the life that is in water उसको अपनी energy requirements complete करने के लिए sufficient amount of oxygen चाहिए. So it will breathe very fastly, जल्दी it will breathe so that it gets more and more amount of oxygen. But whereas in terrestrial animals there is sufficient amount of oxygen present in the air, so they can breathe आराम से and get the amount of oxygen they want. Next, respiration in amoeba. Amoeba depends on simple diffusion of gases for breathing and diffusion of gases. The diffusion of gases takes place through the thin cell membrane of amoeba. In other words, exchange of gases in amoeba takes place through its cell membrane. Amoeba, we all know, is a single celled organism. That is, its पूरी body, the entire body is made up of one single cell. So इसका respiratory system भी will be that cell only. So इसका ये कैसे इसका respiration होता है? It depends upon simple diffusion. इसकी respiratory process क्या है? Simple diffusion. मतलब diffusion is the movement of particles from higher concentration to lower concentration. We know, we have already studied previously. So amoeba का respiration क्या हो रहा है? Simple diffusion से of gases. And किस membrane? We say movement of particles from higher concentration to lower concentration. तो higher concentration to lower concentration जिस membrane से पता divide हो रहा है, that is thin cell membrane. We have studied थिन मेम्ब्रेन होती है, थिन सेल मेम्ब्रेन से अमीबा की गैसेस एक्सचेंज हो रही हैं. Okay, so amoeba lives in water. This water has oxygen gas dissolved in it. The oxygen from water dissolves in the body of amoeba through its cell membrane. अमीबा कहाँ रहता है? पानी में रहता है. अमीबा लिव्स इन वाटर. वाटर में जो डिसॉल्व्ड ऑक्सीजन है वो इसकी सेल मेम्ब्रेन डिफ्यूज करेगी अंदर, एंड आफ्टर रेस्पिरेशन द कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड प्रोड्यूस्ड विल बी डिफ्यूज्ड आउट ऑफ द सेल थ्रू द सेल मेम्ब्रेन. Since amoeba is very small in size, so oxygen spreads quickly into the whole body of amoeba. This oxygen is used for respiration inside the amoebal cell. So amoeba क्या है? एक छोटा सा सिंपल सा और एक सेल है, वन सेल. So इसकी सेल मेम्ब्रेन से डिफ्यूजन होगा, ऑक्सीजन अंदर आएगी, एंड सिंस इट इज़ वेरी स्मॉल, बहुत छोटा सा एक सेल है, so it doesn't require a huge system for it. और सेल मेम्ब्रेन से अंदर आई ऑक्सीजन एंड इट इज स्प्रेड टू द एंटायर सेल. देन it will be used by amoeba, different cell organelles of the amoeba, for respiration. Carbon dioxide gas diffuses through the membrane of amoeba into the surrounding water. This process takes place simultaneously. कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड बन रही है गैस, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड गैस जो रेस्पिरेशन के दौरान बनती है एज अ बाई प्रोडक्ट विल बी रिमूव्ड और विल बी मूव्ड आउट ऑफ द amoebal cell during respiration itself. The carbon dioxide gas that will be produced will be moved out of the amoebal cell through simple diffusion from the cell membrane itself. Thus the breathing surface of amoeba is cell membrane. Breathing surface क्या हुआ amoeba का? Breathing surface of amoeba is cell surface membrane. Breathing surface मतलब जहाँ से oxygen and carbon dioxide का exchange होगा, that surface in amoeba is cell surface membrane. In addition to amoeba, other simple animals like paramecium and planaria also depend on simple diffusion of gases for breathing and respiration. Amoeba हो गया एक organism जिसके बारे में हमने पढ़ा. Similarly, there is animals like paramecium, planaria. इनके अंदर respiration भी कैसे होगा? Simple diffusion से. तब इनका mode of respiration क्या है? Simple diffusion for gases for breathing and respiration. Breathing will also happen through simple diffusion and respiration. Next, this is a amoebal cell. It's a small single cell. So oxygen will diffuse in through the cell membrane, and carbon dioxide will diffuse out through cell membrane. Respiration in earthworm. Earthworm exchanges gas through its skin. We have already studied earthworm lives in soil and there is exchange of gases through its moist skin. So earthworm exchanges its gases through its skin. This means that respiratory surface of earthworm is its skin. The skin of an earthworm is quite thin and moist and has a good blood supply. So earthworm की skin है, it is thin, moist and has a good blood supply. Okay, if someone asks you that what are the characteristics of the skin of earthworm or the respiratory membrane of the earthworm, that is its skin, you can say it's very thin, it is moist and has a good blood supply. Earthworm absorbs oxygen needed for respiration through its moist skins and expels carbon dioxide produced during respiration through its moist skin. Earthworm क्या करता है? Will absorb oxygen needed for respiration. प्रोसेस ऑफ रेस्पिरेशन के लिए जो ऑक्सीजन की ज़रूरत है उसको अब्जॉर्ब करेगा एंड जो रेस्पिरेशन के थ्रू के टाइम पे जो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड बन रही है इसको एक्सपेल आउट ऑफ द करेगा बॉडी से, एंड ऑल दिस विल हैपन थ्रू इट्स मॉइस्ट स्किन. सिमिलरली इन लीचेस, अर्थवर्म हमने पढ़ लिया, अर्थवर्म के जैसा respiration through moist skin happens also in leeches. This is an earthworm. इसकी पूरी skin surface, large surface area है, वहाँ पूरे surface area से oxygen diffuse in होगी, मतलब body के अंदर oxygen absorb होगी, and after respiration carbon dioxide will be thrown out. Respiration in fishes. The fish has special organs of breathing called gills. Fishes have gills on both sides of the head. Fishes जो हैं, that is the aquatic life, they have specialized organ for breathing called as gills. और ये गिल्स कहाँ प्रेजेंट होते हैं? एंड दिस गिल्स आर प्रेजेंट ऑन बोथ साइड ऑफ इट्स हेड. फिश का हेड होता है, उसके दोनों साइड पे देयर आर दिस साइड, उसके दोनों साइड पे वहीं पे देयर आर गिल्स. Fishes live in water and water contains dissolved oxygen in it which is used by the fishes for respiration. Fishes कहाँ रहती हैं? We all know water पे. And water में क्या है? Dissolved oxygen. तो fishes कौन सा oxygen use करेंगी? They will use this dissolved oxygen for respiration. Taking in water through its mouth and sending it over the gills. When the water passes over the gills, extracts dissolved oxygen. From this, the water goes out of the gill slits. See, this is a fish. Fish क्या करेगी? You have already seen somewhere in aquariums or somewhere the fish क्या करती है? अपना मुंह खोलती रहती है तुरंत. तो क्या करती है वो? पानी जो जिस वाटर में वो रह रही है, she will take the water inside her mouth and then this water will pass through her gills. और जब वो गिल्स से वो वाटर पास हो रहा है, oxygen will get absorbed in these gills and जो water without oxygen that will be moving out from the gills. Okay, so this is how breathing happens in gills. That is how oxygen is absorbed. Thus the dissolved oxygen is extracted from the water by the fish when it flows through the gills. अंदर लिया water with oxygen passes over through the gills will absorb oxygen और बिना ऑक्सीजन वाला पानी गिल से बाहर. कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड produced by the respiration is brought back by the blood into the gills for expelling into the surrounding water. ये गिल्स में ऑक्सीजन अब्सॉर्ब हुई थ्रू ब्लड सप्लाई. इट विल गो टू ईच एंड एवरी पार्ट ऑफ द फिश. अब वहाँ पे उस सेल्स में जो रेस्पिरेशन होने के बाद जो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड बना, that carbon dioxide will be transported or will sit on blood cells and come back to gills. अभी गिल्स में कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड आ गया एंड while moving जब वो वाटर बाहर निकल रहा है गिल से, उसी वाटर में डिसॉल्व करके कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड विल गो आउट ऑफ द फिशेस बॉडी. सो रेस्पिरेटरी सरफेस ऑफ अ फिश इज द सरफेस ऑफ गिल. सो द फिशेस का रेस्पिरेटरी सरफेस है जहाँ से वो ऑक्सीजन अब्सॉर्ब कर रहा है एंड कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड को बाहर निकाल रहा है. दे आर द सरफेस ऑफ इट्स गिल. So here we conclude today's lecture about how different types of organisms have different modes of respiration or different ways to respire. So I hope you understood the video, and if you have any doubts, do text us on Instagram or any of the contact details below. You can also comment down telling us any suggestions or questions you have regarding the syllabus, any questions or doubts that you have regarding the topic. Also, do like the video, share the video with your friends and family, and comment about anything you have to tell us. Also, subscribe and ring the bell icon so that you get notified every time we put up a new video for you, and we get motivated to show more and more hard work towards you. Stay home, stay safe. Bye bye.